is Tammy van Jaarsveld and I'm an attorney. I completed my LLB and LLM in criminal law at the University of Pretoria and was admitted as an attorney in 2002. After my admission, I worked as a legal advisor before taking time away from the industry to raise my children, and I returned to practice in 2016. Upon returning to practice, I was called upon by a colleague to accept an appointment as a curator bonus for a client with Alzheimer's who was nearing the end of her life and needed assistance in managing her financial affairs. From the moment I accepted the appointment, my interest and passion was sparked and I knew exactly where I was going to take my career. I completed an additional qualification in the administration of estates and trust management at the University of the Free State, and in April 2022 I opened my own practice with offices in Brooklyn, Pretoria. Typically I'll be approached by a client when they begin their estate planning and they need advice and assistance to draw up their last will and testament. Or perhaps when the client is about to be married and they need advice as to how a marriage in community or out of community of property will affect their estate planning. In other instances, I'll be requested to assist a client in winding up the estate of a loved one who has passed on. Whilst working in this particular sphere of law, I became aware that there's a particular group of people who have funds or wealth and they are not able to manage it themselves. This could be the result of their advanced age, Alzheimer's or dementia, or a debilitating illness. The person could have suffered a traumatic brain injury which has impacted their ability to make healthy, responsible decisions for themselves, or because they are very young and don't yet have the experience and skills to manage their own money. I may be approached by a family member, a community leader, a church elder, or a fellow practitioner at the time when their loved one or client is no longer able to make those decisions in one of the scenarios I mentioned. At this point in the person's life, a curator needs to be appointed. The type of curator appointed depends on the specific needs of the person. A curator bonus could be appointed to manage the financial affairs of the individual, or a curator persona will be appointed to make the day-to-day decisions, such as what medical treatment to consent to, or those very difficult end-of-life choices that the person would have made had they been able to do so themselves. I will either assist in moving the application to appoint a particular type of curator, or if someone else is bringing the application, I may be appointed to that position myself. One of the other instances where my role would begin is where during the course of litigation, for instance, against the Road Accident Fund, one of the experts or an attorney feels that the claimant would benefit from the award being protected. They may make such a recommendation to the court that a trust be created or that the claimant be placed under curatorship. Usually one finds that a minor, being someone under the age of 18, is to receive a substantial award, and a recommendation would be made that the funds be held in trust. The court may, upon receiving such a recommendation, appoint me as either a curator or direct that a trust be created and that I am then appointed as trustee to manage the funds on behalf of the beneficiary. Following the appointment, I would receive the award in my capacity as either the curator or trustee, and I would hold those funds on behalf of the beneficiary. Management of those funds involves such things as investing the funds, paying an allowance to the beneficiary, settling accounts and attending to the settlement of medical bills. As a curator and trustee, I do carry a very heavy fiduciary burden. It can be very difficult to be responsible for managing the funds of another person. I am a member of the Fiduciary Institute of South Africa, which is the only professional body in South Africa which sets the very high standards expected of someone in the fiduciary industry. This type of work suits me because I'm not the hard confrontational person that one is required to be when managing other areas of practice. I'm a very kind and nurturing person, and I really enjoy working directly with my clients and having that human experience. Nothing brings me greater joy than seeing one of my clients finally being able to get the medical treatment they deserve, or proudly holding their certificate at their graduation, or opening the door of their first home I met Salomé Roux in 2020 and I was immediately taken by how much she cares for her clients. Every single client is treated with the utmost care, compassion and dignity. The practice runs like a well-oiled machine where attention to detail is of utmost importance. It was wonderful to hear from her clients how much love and respect they have for Salomé.